Okay. So I wanted to do a quick recording of um, the build overview, what my character looks like right now, and how I've set up my reliquary and skill tree, great bell passives. So you can start with the reliquary first because I think this is the most important for the skills that we're using. So the main skill is Veil of Quills, supported by Judgment, Prayer of Vengeance, and Summon the Guard. Um, so Prayer of Vengeance, I only got this recently, but I've been running this build basically since Act 2. Um, yep. So Veil of Quills, what it does is you click it and a bunch of feathers go out and they trace bad guys. So right now I'm shooting, yeah, that's the base. It looks like I'm shooting six or seven, yeah, six or seven quills. So it gets scaled by your character's gear. So ideally for the weapon, you want projectile damage, the base damage with projectile amount, crit damage on rings. I have mana here and physical resistance on the cap, elemental resistance and life on the body. Phase resistance pants, cooldown. This you could probably change, but the only other option I've seen is attack speed, which doesn't help us. So I wanted cooldown. On the boots, it's move speed and Ellie res, and then the keepsake is mana and reduced mana cost. So the skills that we're running, you want a max as high as you can go level of Veil of Quills, as high as you can go level of Judgment, level 1 Summon the Guard, and level 1, sorry, max level Prayer of Vengeance. So this is just like our aura. I'll explain some of the skill interactions now on the Reliquary page. So what I'm running, I've maxed out my Reliquary, but I can help you guys with the priority of the skills after. But for the base of the build, you want this one, Feathered Dagger, for the Veil Pierce. And then you want to combine that with Mark of the Vulture. So when an enemy gets hit by 7 quills, they explode. And this is the main source of our damage. So Feather Dagger plus Mark of the Vulture actually builds a lot of AoE and damage altogether. Next is we have Book of Sin as another required, I would say, for the build. So this makes it so that Judgment is automatically cast in the positions when they die. It just helps with your clear mostly, but it feels super good. If anybody has played Path of Exile, it feels like ED Contagion sort of. Next, we have Looking Glass. So this one says kills with spells grant mana regen. Early on, when you're progressing the build, you don't have that much unlocked yet, especially in the tiers of the weapons and the relics. This helps a lot with mana sustain. So you'll notice that when you're clearing mobs, you have enough mana gained on kill and mana regen that it's not like you're never but on bosses, especially on single target, you'll have a lot of problems with mana sustain. So as much mana regen as you can get on any of the substats of the relics would also help. But this solves our mana regen when we're clearing trash. Next, the other supporting relics that I have that are not necessarily not super required for the build, but help a lot. I'm using a Bloody Doll. So this has spells gain 9% damage per active summon. If we're reading what Summon the Guard does, it gives us 4 spirits that count as summons that um, boost our damage basically. And then when we click it, it doubles the number of guards that are out. So it's a nice little spell damage buff for single target on bosses. Okay. After that, I just have a bunch of relics here that solve issues with the build. So those are the core ones that I've noted are like uniques that you absolutely need for the build to feel good. The next are just a bunch of yellows that I use to fill out the substats and improve the quality of life of the build. So substat priority, this thing actually does so much for my build because it's mana percentage and mana regen. So I think without this, I lose a lot of the mana sustain that I have baseline. So less mana means less times we're casting the quills. Feels horrible to play without it. You also want a decent amount of movement speed on the build because as you can see, I'm not using the dash. And the reason why we're only using 4 skills is in game when you're picking the blessings or the buffs for your skills, removing one skill actually makes it more consistent that we're able to hit the upgrades on our main skill and some of the supporting skills to make them feel better to play. So here we have mana on kill, crit damage, and flat mana. So this is also really good. This one is move speed, mana regen. So it's only a 2 stat, not that good, but it's the really high mana regen. That's why I picked it up. Move speed, resistances, mana regen, flat mana. It's pretty good. Like I mentioned, this is like the big source of my mana right now. This one is skill cost reduction, XP gain, life on kill. It's pretty decent. This one has move speed, mana regen, conviction gain as well. So basically two. It's just move speed, mana regen. Okay, so that's the base of how it sort of plays. If we're looking at our base character stats without any of the buffs, priority, if you feel like you're dying a lot, you just want a lot of as much of resistances as you can get throughout the campaign when you're progressing. And then you want physical resistance wherever you can get it. You would then want to build as much flat in the early stages as possible. So flat life is like the main way to scale or progress early in the game. If we're looking at the pathing that I took for the Great Bell here, my character is a bit more progressed, but the way that I had it, I respect it a bunch of times. You go for Red Portal first because you want to progress faster. It helps a lot as well on the farming runs when you need more souls or more bell levels. And then I went to Hell Clock Timer um, and this Reliquary size upgrade. So these are the main three. The pathing I took is through the trinkets because this helps you a lot during the campaign. Blessed gear drop because you kind of want to upgrade your gear as you're going. Um, and then flat mana and flat life is what I prioritized. So as soon as you are able, you want to unlock the stuff for all of the reliquary size upgrades. So it's priority because it helps you basically make your skills more powerful. It opens a lot of the interactions between the skills. Um, but yeah, you can follow this. This is the current priority I have. I'm at 71, but you can cut some of the points for max level. I think is can be cut because it increases a lot of the points early. Increases the cost. I mean, but you want to prioritize size upgrades as much as you can. This banishing is really good as well. If you've played Soulstone Survivors or any of the other games that look like that, you would understand like how powerful this is. Aside from that, our build scales off of cooldown. We don't. It's a spell, so we don't want attack damage or any of those other stats. But it seems like crit and crit damage are generically scaling. Okay, so quick one on the Constellation as well. I haven't progressed mine that far yet, but I started green, so I took the crit chance Constellation. I went up here. I got fizz damage, plague damage, evasion, quick evasion, and urgent cause. So this gives me basically frenzy charges if you guys ever played PoE. But if not, it's a nice little buff. It gives you movement speed, attack speed. Mostly we just use it for the movement speed. But we needed this green because we wanted to get to here. So I'm going for plague damage right now. I'm gonna complete this wheel, and once I unlock some blue, I'm planning to go somewhere for sustain. I think this one, Oxala, is good for sustain, but I haven't super investigated the all the constellations yet, right? So I'm barely into Act 3. I'm just farming right now to get a bunch of souls to unlock more pages and more bell levels. Okay. So quick one on blessings when you're actually playing the game. You want to banish fire and lightning resist from judgment. You want to take duration and then banish maybe damage and attack speed from your summon the guard. And your Veil of Quills, you almost never want to take skill speed. So you totally ignore that as a buff. You will always take Quill Velocity damage, and for the red slot, if you can get um, plus 2 quills, that is the best. For the red slot of summon the guard, you want plus 1 guard. I think that's the best one. For judgment on the red slot, you can go for either um, physical slash plague resist shred intensity. I think that's one, or duration. Those are the two best for judgment. Otherwise, you will always try to prioritize the things that will scale your Veil of Quills. So that is quill velocity off of this, because it means that in the base duration of the quill, it has more chances to like hit the same target. Building up the 7 stacks is kind of the goal that we're going for. So quill velocity helps there. More quills also lets you get to 7 stacks faster, which is also good. There is another stat here that you can upgrade that says projectile duration. That also helps. So those are the three like main things that will scale your quill damage a lot. Aside from that, you just go for the regular stuff. Like flat damage is okay, but you'll sort of get a feel of like how you're playing it as you go. But yeah. Okay, so that's it. That's it for this video. If you guys have any questions regarding the build, or if there's something that I missed that you guys need to know about, you can put it in the comment section and I will try to get to them. If I stop replying, it's because I stopped playing this game and I don't really care about it. But since it's a new release, I thought it would be cool to do a quick overview of like what I figured out and the interactions that I found in the game so far. That's it.